Hello, everyone, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of how cute Cloud is.
Hey, hello. Well, now he doesn't want to look at the camera.
I know. It's because, hi,
Hey.
buddy. I know you can't hear me, but I'm still going to say hi. But we are so excited tonight. Not only do we have a very special guest with Cloud, but we are also going to be doing the Survivor 42 draft. I'm joined, as always, with Allison, not so always with Cloud, and also with Tyler. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I cannot wait to draft all of these youngsters. This new wave of Survivor. Keep the 4, drop the 1, or maybe like 1. Add the plus. Add another 1,
and then drop them.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm very excited. Like overall, like the cast is very huge super fans of the show, which I always appreciate. Lots of people that say they're going to play hard, and also the highest amount of LGBT representation in a season with 5. So
baby.
That makes me very happy to see. And I don't know, I'm feeling really good about the cast.
What do you say, Allison? What does Cloud say for this 42 cast?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my weekly Meltdown Romper Room edition with Cloud. He's say hi and bye. Okay.
But hi, bye. Love that. Yes.
Say hello. He's mesmerized by the ring light in the women.
I mean, honestly, aren't we all?
I just wanted to introduce everyone to my grandson real quick.
I love.
You talking?
Yeah, he's trying to get his podcasting going.
He's facing the wrong direction, but that's okay. He takes direction like his grandma.
He's already got more hair on the back of his head than I do, so he's doing well. He's doing well.
All right, you want to say bye-bye?
Hey, bye-bye.
Let's
bye.
Hello.
Just fling him.
Bye, buddy.
What if Allison was literally like, "All right, bye."
The way I'd be like, okay, so we're ending the show and immediately calling child services. Great.
Right.
The draft can wait.
All right. I love you. I'll see you later.
I'm gonna mute Allison.
Daddy.
Okay.
Just muted the handoff.
Yeah, no worries. Before we get going, let's say hello to the people in the chat. Matthew Henning, the Draft King, is here, as well as our mod. Nate LaRocca, Stefan is on here, and so is Adrian. I am in the middle of doing the patron draft. So if you were a patron, you should have gotten a message yesterday to sign up. But we have 4 patrons who have signed up. So everybody's going to get 6 on their team, and then there'll be 2 that go undrafted. But very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that patron draft turns out. And Matt Henning is our reigning Survivor champ. And I was curious, like who has won the most my weekly Meltdown drafts. So the first one was Survivor 39. So I have data from all the way up until then. So Matt Henning has 2 wins. Andrew has 1. Beth has 1. Allison has 1, and I have 1. So there's a lot on the line here with this draft. Can somebody live up to Matt Henning's 2 score? But I don't know. We'll see.
It can be done.
It's amazing. The 4 people had very different people that they were going after. So it's actually working out that people are getting a lot of people in their top half of choices. So it's going to be really interesting.
Totally. Also, just one bit of housekeeping. I think that somebody...
A drawer
Allison,
just
is your... Something
is
like
what?
that.
What happened?
There was like a huge bang, like a drawer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was putting my lipstick up. Listen, I didn't have time to prep. Okay, I've got sweet potatoes on my sleeve from a feeding earlier. We ate today. We ate real. It's been a day.
We love that.
And one bit of housekeeping also. So I'm headed to Singapore with Tim tomorrow. So very excited about that. But with that being said, so Big Brother Canada premieres on Wednesday. So the first eviction should be this Thursday. Basically, none of us are available this Thursday. So we are not covering the first week of Big Brother Canada, but we will be back in full swing for week 2 of Big Brother Canada. So next week is going to be a big week for us with the Survivor premiere and Big Brother Canada the following day. So I don't think I'll be here for the first episode of Survivor, but I'll be back in time for a BB Can. I made sure of that.
It is going to be sad, but I am looking forward to an Allison and Beth exclusive show.
Oh yeah, I always love rewatching the tapes and seeing just how far it goes off the rails without me.
you really
Oh, when we do
rewatch?
Survivor?
I do.
Because I got to talk
I-
about my aqua dumps.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I can't
yeah.
wait.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the draft here.
Yes.
So this is what it's going to be looking like. So so each of us will have 6 people. We are gonna go snake style once again. So it'll be Allison that goes first, and then Beth, and then myself. I will then pick again, and then it goes to Beth. Allison picks twice, so on and so forth. All right.
I think before I said that everyone gets 6 on the Patriot draft, I meant 5. I'm a dumb bitch. That's what I meant.
That's okay. Math is hard.
It's hard.
Yes, very
All
hard.
right. So Allison, any thoughts about the cast before diving into your first pick?
Oh my God. So Cloud and I had the worst time trying to figure out who to pick. I mean, I can't, like, I try to just read over the little things and not get too in depth, but it's hard not to, because first of all, I just want to go out and say, CBS really wants to ensure that I will F up every single person's name. They don't want me to succeed at all, because I don't even know where to begin, because I'm just terrible at pronouncing regular names in English. I don't even know how to pronounce the last name of the first pick that I have. So Lord help me, and don't judge me, because I'm doing my best here.
Okay. I have finished the patron draft just now, and I would like to once again correct myself. Patrons get 4, because 4 times 4 is 16, you dumb bitch.
Okay,
Beth.
there we go.
Jeez.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense.
So everybody on the patron draft got 4 people, and then there was 2 that went undrafted. I will say the 2 undrafted. Actually, I'll wait until we're done. I'll go through like I'll just name them out loud, and then we can put them in like stuff from there. But basically what I did, just so people have a background, is that I got a list ranked from 1 to 18 from every single person. And then I randomized through Siri here. I said 1 through 4 for each person. And then whichever one they got, that was the number they in the order, did snake style, and then I just crossed off list starting at the top and went from there. So lots of fun. I actually really enjoyed doing this.
Good. I can't wait to see how it sorry. I full transparency, I just got an email about mortgage rates and stuff. I'm finalizing buying an apartment. So just like adulthood just like hit me, but I'd rather talk about Survivor. But I can't wait to see like what the patrons picked, what direction they go in. If there's any artificially colored haired people in the cast, if Matt picks them up or anything like that. So we'll see. Lots of unanswered questions. But okay, Allison, I'm dying to hear. She is the first pick on the board of all 18. I almost said house guests. Castaways.
Listen, it's been that way. Okay, it's been that way. Thank God it's not a house guest. Oh, so I can go now? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, so my first pick. I was trying to cheat with Matt Henning, but it didn't work, because I was sending him a message going, "Yo, you there?" And Matt's not answering me, so I guess we're not going to do this, Matt.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
No insider trading.
I know.
Trading. To be fair, I have a list of 4 different rankings, so I guess that's also my inside info. And
True.
Tyler listened to 7,000 podcasts right before this, so I was prepared in different ways.
At 2 times speed. Yeah.
Okay. So, Allison.
My first pick is Zach Wurtenberger.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Okay,
Why is
so
everyone
Allison,
shocked when I have a decent pick? I mean, it's kind of like, oh wow, what?
I expected you to pick like Jonathan first for some reason. I don't know why. That's like the first person that came to my mind is like, who's Allison gonna pick first? Okay, so why is Zach Wurtenberger? Sorry if I say his last name incorrectly. Why is he the winner of Survivor 42?
I've been calling him Zach Wahlberger all day, so whatever.
Wahlberg.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I looked at him and I saw, he's a social strategy. He's into, he's a student. He's into social strategy. God bless. Can we start this whole damn show over?
Yeah.
It's social strategy games, sketch comedy, writing, and running. I love all those things except running. But I really like his pet peeve. He doesn't care for people who don't tip. And that's a big thing with me because I'm a big tipper. Okay.
Hey, big tipper.
Yeah, hey, big tipper. And listen, I have actually given big tips to people that have given me the worst service on the planet and said point blank to them, I think you're having a bad day, but I hope this turns it around for you.
Yeah. I truly
not all the
believe
time.
that tipping is one of the best ways to make somebody's day and also just, be a decent human being. I firmly believe if you can't tip, you shouldn't go out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
From what I understand,
in that vein, Beth, before we move on from that, I always tell people the number one way to like get a sense on a first date whether or not you should date the person again is take note of how they treat their waiter or waitress, because that's probably how they treat strangers in their life, and that's a good judge of character.
Exactly.
So
absolutely,
that's my dating advice for everybody out there.
It is not just dating. Like if you're doing a business lunch or something like that, it's really helpful to understand if that's the kind of person you want to be doing business with. Putting it out there.
True.
From what I understand too, and I think that Adrian's in the chat, and so I'll let him kind of add in here. Yeah, the Adam Klein vibes. I get that. I definitely, I worry that Zach is going to overplay, like Adrian saying, this is somebody who likes social strategy games. This is somebody who is clearly smart. And I feel like they're going to come in and try to big brain too quickly in the game and get themselves in trouble. I see themselves being like the fourth boot. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that he's a big super fan. Like he even knows like RHAP and Mike Bloom in his interview that he did with Mike Bloom for Parade. But that age worries me. 21 years old, being a big of a super fan as he is, like I feel like, and I learned my lesson last season on the draft with picking like young hopefuls that say they're ready to play. JD, I'm looking at you, Mr. Pre-merge. I just see that happening in this case too, especially with tribes of 6. Like there's a lot less room to hide and a lot more room to overplay if you lose that first one. So I don't know. I'm just a little worried about him, but we'll see.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. So I'm going to move to my first pick. This is someone who I've seen getting a lot of like praise and hype about, specifically because she's played a lot of other like Survivor like games, and I'm going to be picking Chanel. I'm excited.
That was my pick.
I think that she just seems like she's going to be really dynamic. Not only am I picking her just because of like her background playing some other social strategy games where she's been a very interesting person from what I understand. I am in the world of dealing with recruiters. If you people don't think about recruiters as sales, but it very much is. Like when you hear someone works in sales, you instantly kind of put a target on them a little bit, right? Because you're like, I'm not going to let them manipulate me. A recruiter is way worse than manipulating you in many ways because they have to manipulate both the company and the person who they're trying to recruit, right? So they have to do it on both sides. And so I see her trying to be able to kind of pull off that chaotic gameplay by being very socially strong. I just got a lot of personality out of her writing. So I'm really excited to see what she's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, she had me at hates slow walkers.
I hate that too, and I'm not even from New York.
Fucking hate slow walkers. But no,
I just go tourist when you walk by. I do.
Yes, exactly.
Now that I moved to New York, I can say that.
She's 29 years old, so she's I feel like that perfect age of like a little life experience, but still like a young buck in the cast. She also looks very like super strong in shape as well. And Definitely. She has a certificate of negotiations mastery from Harvard Business School, which I think is a big deal. I think that she's going to know how to play everybody. I don't see her as like coming across like playing too hard or anything like that. And she describes herself as cultured and loves to travel, which is always a plus for me in terms of like having like a bigger worldview. I think that always makes a person a little bit more emotionally intelligent. So I don't know, all good things about Chanel. Allison, what do you think?
Hold on a second. I like that what was that? Mentoring young women. I like that. Let's see what else. I didn't really pay that much attention to her, so give me just a second.
She's the first one on the cast list too, so it's kind of like you either dive really deep into the cast or you just like you start to get into more of a rhythm afterwards. So
yeah, I like everything that Beth said, because I mean, executive recruiter. The only thing that I will say, I don't want her to be too pushy, because sometimes my experience with some recruiters, not all, is they can be incredibly pushy and call you and text you nonstop. So I just don't want her to get lost and become pushy. That's all.
I love the idea that she like might just be like doing push notifications to her teammates like on the island and be like, how the hell did you get a phone? How the hell did you get everybody a phone on this? And she's just like,
what?
Did it?
Yeah.
And how do you turn off those notifications?
You can't. You give me your vote at Final Tribal Council and I'll stop talking.
Exactly.
Boom. All right.
Yeah.
Tyler, who is your first pick?
Okay, so first of all, I want to say good pick, Beth. She was my number one on the entire list. So good job for getting her before I could swoop up and take her. But I'm feeling just as good about my number. I almost said my number two, but that could be construed the wrong way.
On this show, it will be.
You cannot say something like number two on this show and think it's not like I'm going to let it go.
Okay, I'm feeling just.
Are you going to let a number two go?
Are you letting a number two go or slide? Those are easier to wipe.
Okay, I don't know how to transition out of that hot mess.
All right, let's get out of the shit and back into
yeah. So overall, like I like this tribe a lot, and I like this person within this tribe. She is this is Lydia. She is 22 years old. She's a waitress, actor, writer from Santa Monica, California. I just really like her like self-deprecating humor. She's a big fan of the show. She said that she wants to play as loyal and admirable as Tom Westman, which is like a really like deep cut reference. Like, of course, like when you say that you're a super fan of these things, like you say like, oh, I love Parvati, I love Sari, like Kelly Wentworth, like, you know, which is like the chop picks. But Tom Westman's a deep cut, so that tells me that she is like a true super fan. She's terrified of vacuum cleaners, which I can relate to. I don't really like vacuum cleaners either. But no,
is it the suction? Did you have an issue before?
I just like I can never vacuum correctly, and I got in trouble like in my first job as a busboy because I just like couldn't vacuum correctly.
It isn't rocket science. You turn it on, you go back and forth.
Listen, I don't know how to tie my shoes or tie a tie either. So
time out. I literally learned how to tie my shoes correctly because I've always just done the two bunny ears that you loop around like that, and I got made fun of, and now I'm so scared that I feel like I lost. I think you do something like that or whatever. I literally can't do it again.
Yeah. I always do like I do like the two bunny like loop like mess that always comes untied right away. But no, okay, so like she says her hero is Kristen Wiig because she's funny, adaptable, and paves the way for herself and writes. Which like showed me a lot of things that she admires, like just being like a strong like woman who like makes her own. And what does that remind me of? A certain under the radar female winner that we got last year in Survivor. I'm trying to think of like who in this cast like reminds me the most of Erica, especially because it's going to be the same twists and turns this season as it was last season. So I feel like Lydia could play that good like under the radar game, but I also feel like she's smart enough to be like an Aubrey that is a little more likable. that could help her in the final tribal as well. So I'm feeling good about Lydia, and she is my first pick.
Lydia for me was like more middle of the pack. I didn't think that she'd be somebody who would be like immediately targeted by any means. I think that she'd be a good team player. First of all, I just want to go out there and say, like, she's obviously in no way like a big person, but she's bigger than what we're used to seeing for like the twigs that are normally on Survivor.
Yeah.
And I love seeing a little bit more body diversity, especially from women. And I love that in her bio, she's like, I'm gonna hold my own in challenges, but I'm gonna be relying for the most part on, my social game, my strategic game. And that's something that I think is really powerful, because I think so many people are gonna like look at her and go, oh, she's weak because she doesn't look like she's as muscular, or she's not lean, or something like that. And to those people, I say, fuck you very much. Thank you very much.
Sorry if you heard a dog squeaky toy.
I did. And
You don't
I
have
just
to apologize. I'm in an insane asylum right now. I'm muting constantly. There's all kinds of shit going on.
This is great. I have no dog nor a baby with me, and I just feel like I'm just gonna talk.
Congrats on your independence, Beth.
Yeah. I used to be
okay.
you.
So any more thoughts about Lydia before I move on to my second pick?
I was just going to say that one thing that I like about her is that, let's see here. She goes to the movies by herself. I can totally relate to this. I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Beth, the whole thing, and writing comedy. I love that. I'm interested to see what happens with her. No judge. I'm not saying anything. I don't think she'll make it far. That's just me. But I'm going to leave it there. Kristen Wiig is her hero. Hello, bridesmaids. I'm so hungry
ready
right now.
to
party. She's like, are you okay? I'm so hungry. I'm starving.
In fact,
And
Helen, I'm so hungry. I could use a snack.
A snack here.
Oh, are those Jordan almonds?
That's
These
funny.
would you
I
like?
happen to have some Jordan almonds
Right
here
here.
with me.
Sorry.
Do people really change? But okay, no. So, all right, my next pick, number 2. Again, saying number 2. Okay, so I went with my head for Lydia. I'm gonna go with my heart.
Is this going to be a ship choice?
Yes, of course. So I'm gonna go with Hai Jiang. I hope I'm
Good
saying.
pick. Hai is my second choice as well.
So Hai is another 29-year-old, good age once again. He's a dog owner, so gotta love that.
Which one is he?
Hai.
Hai.
Can you put his picture in the thing, because I gotta go.
Yeah.
There he
I
is.
will put it in my draft. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so Hai is like another legitimate super fan to me. He says that he wants to play like Aubrey, understanding social rankings and strategizing within that. His parents moved from Vietnam when they were 23, not knowing any English and only $40 to their name. So like he grew up with them working like pretty nonstop. So he spent a lot of time by himself as a kid, and admires those tougher years because it made him stronger. And I like that attitude. I like especially in a game like Survivor, which is so like tough and just like an endurance of like mental fortitude. I like that he's saying that he admires those tough days because it built character. Sorry. He says that he bought his first home at 24, paid off all his student loans by 26. So I just feel like he's going to be very laser focused and somebody that doesn't really break down or let the elements of the game get to him, or let anything in the game really take him up and sweep him away, if you will. I feel like I always feel like he's going to be like a Todd type of player this season, and that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I think that when you can combine somebody who clearly has social skills, who's also very analytical and competitive, that's an interesting person to watch. And I think that people will probably underestimate him in the beginning of the game. And I think that by the time they catch on to him, it might be a little too late. Like that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from him. So yeah, he was my second choice as well.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what concerns me though is I know being alone and spending time with yourself and doing that whole thing is good, and it's fine. But I feel like that can also be a negative when you're in a big group of people because you lack the I don't want to say people because I think he's personable. I'm not saying he's not personable, but and I don't know how to say this without it saying this way, so please forgive me. People skills.
It's you lack the ability to coexist with other people.
Right. And
It's not people skills as much as it's the coexisting skills.
The
I totally understand.
Yeah. And you can end up maybe saying and rubbing people the wrong way without realizing you're doing it. And that could get you kicked off the island, unfortunately.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that does not happen for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, Beth, go ahead and give us your next pick.
Okay, well, high was taken from me, which is understandable. I took your first choice, you take my second choice. It's what we do there. But my number 3 is going to go to somebody who I think is going to play a very smart game, and I'm very excited about this. And somebody who quoted 2 really interesting characters. Like everybody was like Suri, Boston Rob. I like when people choose other like outside the box people. I'm going to choose Swathi. She chose Victoria and Cass as like 2 of her people that she wants to play as, and I'm like so excited about that. I also like that in her bio was about being persuasive. And I think that that's really important in this game is if you can identify that you have persuasive skills, then that is something that you're more likely to be in tune with the people around you and understand how to get them onto your side or to change their plan of action. So I'm really excited about Swathi.
Yeah,
Swathi, is that how you say it?
I've heard it with a THI, even though it's spelled TI.
I've been calling her Swati, so I just want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Yeah, and another really cool thing is she was literally 36 hours finished her training for the army before she came out to Survivor. So she is like boot camped up, ready to go, which tells me that like she's going to be able to endure these elements. Like, even though like it was 26 days this past season, we saw a bunch of survivors like really get pretty fatigued out there. So I don't know if they're like giving them less portions or whatever, but I feel good about her ability to endure those elements, especially coming out of boot camp training. Sorry about the
definitely
the dog speaking. Allison, go ahead and talk while I throw this dog.
No, it's fine. If the people in my living room speaking at regular volume aren't making it into the show, I can deal with your squeaking. This is the only thing that she's 19, and I'm not number 2ing on her age or anything. But one thing about young ones is and I noticed this in her pet peeves, people who try to control me or tell me how to live my life. Honey, you're 19 years old. You're going to hear it till you're 24 at least. So
I'm 33. I'm still feeling it.
Trust me, my son's 25. I'm still it's going to happen. So I'm just hoping that when people step in and maybe try to guide her or tell her something, that she doesn't take it as you're trying to control or manipulate me in this game. Just take it in when you can. So
also in her interview with Mike Bloom, like just her energy felt very grounded and approachable. Like she's not like crazy energetic, right? But like I feel like like her energy to me seems very like relatable. Like somebody that's not going to cause drama or like get in a huge fight, but have like a really good tempo on what's happening in the game. So she was actually my 3rd pick. So good choice here.
Wow, we're really like coming after each other's top picks here. Further proving you and I have the same strategic mind.
Yes, exactly, literally, which is why I need to betray you if we're ever in one of these games together.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you.
Sorry. We'll see who cuts who first. But Allison, go ahead and give us your number 2 pick.
Well, my number 2 is Omar Zahir. If I am saying that correctly. He is from Canada. He loves training animals because he's a veterinarian. And you know, he's pet peeves is Joey from Friends.
Honestly, relatable because
People who
Joey
talk
sucks.
bad about pigeons. I like this guy. I like this guy.
Okay, but pigeons are the rats of the sky. Like, I don't understand. Like, especially if you live in New York City, pigeons are grosser than rats. They're spreading that shit in the air that you're breathing.
I
This
just
is
like that
true.
he lists all these, like, he hates gym grunters, he hates Joey from Friends,
I hate.
I
he
do
hates
too,
when
Jim
people talk
Grunters.
bad about pigeons. And then he says, "Oh, and institutional racism." Like that's like the last thing, like before like pigeons or Joey from Friends.
I
Yeah,
love.
and mini weights. I mean,
Go ahead, Allison.
and he hates
Yeah.
mini weights. So I'm good with this guy. He's silly, empathetic, and shameless. I get it. I just don't want his sense of humor to be misconstrued as he's not taking the game seriously, or you know, he's not really in it all the way. But I don't think that will happen. That's it.
I think he's a RHAP listener as well.
Yeah, I wish he was my number one. Damn it. Can I switch?
He
I mean, you
also,
could switch your 1 and 2. It doesn't matter because they're on your team. Anyway.
Okay,
Right.
never mind. I just, you know what I'm saying? Because either way, if one of them wins, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what order they're in.
No, it doesn't matter.
exactly,
What order.
yeah.
Okay.
And this is winner takes all. But
Okay.
yeah, another thing is he's Muslim, so it's like a good representation there. But
Yes.
I do like the people that he mentions. Like he says that he wants to be Rob Cesternino strategically. His father died in 2017 is something he talked about as well. And said that he was raised very poor and couldn't make ends meet a bunch of times growing up. So I feel like that's been like an overarching theme of like this entire cast is like a rough upbringing that has like worked their way up to success in life.
It's a whole
So, I
cast
don't know.
of hustlers.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're doing that
basically.
season. What I like about him is that he talks about adaptability. And I think that this is a game more so than any other kind of social strategy game where you not only have to adapt to such a fluid, quick game structure, but you also have to adapt to whatever they're going to throw at you, what the elements are going to throw at you, and things that is literally out of nobody's control. Like you might have a friggin' tornado come through and then you have to deal with the mental stress of that kind of stuff, you know? So it's just like there's things that when I see people say that they're adaptable and they back it up with, you know, the hardships they've had in their lives and how they've persevered through that, that shows me that they're going to be able to take on the game in so many different capacities.
Yeah. Also, I kind of agree with this comment from Matt. I feel like a vet is like a very like trustworthy.
See,
like
I have not had good experiences with vets.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
I just like, well, that's not true. I've had good experiences with one vet, but I've had multiple vets who just like are like it's like going to a mechanic. I feel like I don't really like, okay, sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The last time I came in for this exact treatment, it was $40. This time it's $100. The next time I went in, it was $20. What is it? Like, it's the same exact stuff every time.
Yeah.
I get a lot of, there's one vet, my parents' vet is such a judgmental asshole. Like, so awful. And she'll sit there and be like, how dare you have had your cats declawed way back in the day. And they're like, well, it's now illegal. So they wouldn't do it now anyway. And they're like, we're sorry that we gave these cats that were literally about to die a loving home, but they were terrorizing our whole home. So this was the only way that we were going to keep them there. And they never go outside. So they're never going to need their claws, which I understand. I'm not going to ever declaw cats, but every time she goes in there, she goes off of my parents in such a rude way. It's like, girl, get over it.
Yeah.
Like, clearly they're taking care of the cats.
Yeah.
Right.
So as long as he's not that kind of vet, then sure, great. But vets can be like, they can be really judgmental people too.
All right, Allison, go ahead and give us your third pick here.
Okay, my third pick is Jenny Kim from New York. I feel like she's the strongest of the older crew there. Okay. She doesn't like arrogant people. And those with a sense of entitlement, which I can relate to that. She's direct, open, and compassionate. I do like that one thing that people don't know about her is she knows how to weld and build furniture. So I think that's something that'll come in handy, just hopefully she doesn't get pushy with that, because God, there's one thing I can't stand about people in the Gallon Survivors. Like, I know how to do something that nobody else knows how to do. So I'm just going to take over and that's it. So
my concern with Jenny is I feel like she could have like Julie from Survivor 38 downside. I'm reading her profile the same way I read hers like before that season, where she was like, I'm a toy maker, like I'm a jack of all trades, she described herself. And that's what I feel like I'm getting from Jenny. Like, she's a creative director, but she's also a certified Pilates instructor. She can weld and build furniture. And she admires Kelly Wentworth's tenacity. Like, that doesn't really tell me anything. I like, yes, she is like one of the older people in the cast, but she seems very like friendly and approachable. Almost could be like a nurturing mother. But like, since she's like a creative, like maybe that almost like Jessica from BB Can 10, like exactly what I said about her. So I could see it going either way here with Jenny. I hope she's around for a while, because I feel like she's going to be a great character to watch. But
I definitely see her making jury. I just don't know how far into the jury she goes. I think that she's going to be like a casualty of a twist or something. Like, that's the kind of thing I see from her. Like, I don't feel like she's going to be the type of person that would be on anybody's radar until they're like, well, we have to, look around and just go for somebody. Oh, I guess we'll go for Jenny. I hope I'm wrong, because I really like her. I think that she's really cool. But that's the kind of vibe I get from her, is that she wouldn't be an intentional target, just kind of like the victim of something that happens in the game.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Beth, go ahead and give us your next pick.
I'm stuck between a few different people, but I kind of feel like I have mostly like social people on my team right now. So I'm going to go for somebody who is a little bit more athletic, and I'm going to go for Drea, who is an all-American runner and a fitness. I don't know if she's a fitness instructor or if she's something like that. She's like a conditioning coach, something, but clearly someone who's very, very physical. I like that she also wants to play a similar kind of social strategic game to Kelly Wentworth. So if you can combine similar kind of gameplay with someone who's going to be a little bit more physical, I think that that's a pretty big threat in my book. I just worry that if she overperforms, like, thankfully we've moved away from like, let's cut the weak people first, but we've started to move towards let's get rid of like physical threats earlier in the game. And so I worry that if she shows it off too much, she might become an unintentional target early on. But that's where I'm at with her.
My big thing with Drea is she's a big advocate for Goop and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah,
that concerns me for her. I don't want to.
She does what with Gwyneth Paltrow?
She's a big advocate for Goop and Gwyneth Paltrow as a whole. The whole like Goop movement.
Okay.
She does a lot of the workout videos on Goop's website. It, like I just fear we're getting like a Nora situation with Drea. I don't want it to be the case, but I just feel like there might be a screw loose here with her. She says,
but I kind of like that though.
Oh, of course, like we're here for good TV.
Yeah.
But she said her favorite moment was Cerie's platform moment in Game Changers, which like I feel like all of us like were collectively rolling our eyes at that Jeff made that such a big thing. But I don't know, like,
but it makes sense from her perspective, right? So if she's
True.
somebody whose whole job is to get people to feel like they can and do things more physically, I think that makes sense. Like, that would be so important for her. I also don't like, even if she is a huge supporter of Goop, if it's because she does the fitness videos, it's a job. Like, I don't fault people for a job. You know what I mean? Yeah. If she's like out there, like, it's the best product, Gwyneth Paltrow's a fucking goddess, then like, that's a different
She works
thing.
for Goop?
Like, she does like
she like leads workout videos.
Okay, I thought she just did it for fun. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so Allison, any thoughts on her before we move on?
No.
Okay. All right. So no, you're good. So my next pick is a Canadian. I'm gonna go with Mary Ann for my.
That was the other person I was trying to choose between. Isn't that funny? Wow.
And I picked her because she says that she's a gamer, so my gamer heart has to follow and support. She's big on equality. She consulted with her university's equity and inclusions officer to make life better for Black students at her college, and she said that that's like one of her biggest accomplishments because it felt like something bigger than herself. So like to me, like she has a good sense of like placement in the world and like wanting to like do more with her platform and positioning and stuff. And she also describes herself as empathetic and chaotic. And I like what she said. She said, I check in on people and let them vent to me. That is like so wonderful of a strategy, because like if you're just like that shoulder for somebody to cry on in something as tough to play as Survivor, that's when you get like all of like this like sloppy info just like being spilled to you for free.
What's her name again? Marianne? Okay.
Yep.
Marianne.
I'm trying to cross out.
And she says she'll be looking for idols, so that always makes me happy too.
I think that what's going to be interesting with her is that you have somebody whose built-in career is to listen to people and to be an empathetic shoulder to what Tyler's saying. But I don't get the sense that she's going to be overly manipulative like we saw in 41. I think that this is going to be somebody who truly is taking her profession and into her social game. But I don't see her as the type to go out of her way to manipulate people. But if people give her information, she might use it. Like I see her taking advantage of the rules within the game. But I don't see her going out of her way to like manipulate people, which can be both a very good thing and a very bad thing. It makes you a very trusted ally, but it's also the type of thing that can easily put a target on your back if people think you have a lot of information, or if they think like, oh, well, she's never going to turn, so let's get rid of her then.
Yeah. Allison, any thoughts on Marianne?
She's a seminary student. Do you know what that is?
I do not, actually.
Yeah, that means that she's going to school to be a minister.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
that's another
like
big
that.
theme this season is like people that have a lot of faith or like religion is like important to them.
Just so you know, my son became an online ordained minister last week. Okay, so if you want to get married in Memphis, Tennessee, my son will do it for $100.
Nice.
He's got a side hustle. Okay, this is the world we live. My son is okay. Anyway, I like that. I don't really have my
hustle.
She's empathetic and chaotic. Not too well. They kind of go hand in hand at sometimes, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
We'll see. But no, that's all I got for that.
Yeah.
All right.
And Doc Chunk says that she watches Big Brother online as well.
Ooh, that's always good to hear too. Okay, so
it's true. They can.
So my next pick might surprise some people. Okay. But you know, taking feelings.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need to take a guess. Hold on. Let me scroll. Let me see this guy.
I know who it is.
I think I know who.
It's Tori.
No.
I think
Jonathan
it's Tori.
Young?
I think you're choosing Tori.
Is it Jonathan Young?
Well, I feel like those two are like almost the same person this season. To be fair, with some ideologies that they share, but no. So like taking like whatever away from it. My next pick is Tori. So
told you, I literally said it.
All right. So
I was gonna choose Tori next too. That's so sad.
Here's the thing. She did great on Sequester. She says that Jesus is number one, Jeff Probst's a close second. That would normally scare me. However, like I just said, like faith and religion is just like such a prominent thing in a lot of these bios this year. So I actually feel like that could be a way to bridge gaps with people that might share different views than her, if you will. Like when we interviewed her, she was both our winner picks, Allison, because like she just blew us away with like an amazing first impression. And in her interview with Parade, she talks about how she has like mastered that first impression and using that to her advantage in these games. She's a therapist, and she says that she's good at getting people to trust her and make a comfortable, safe space quickly with them. And she also talks about wearing blue for like color psychology purposes. So this is somebody who's just like really, really thinking about the optics of how she's going to play, how people are going to perceive her coming into the game. She's in like good physical shape too, a good
Tyler,
age. So
every time you hit the desk, it's like pounding my ears.
I'm sorry.
It's
sorry,
okay.
sorry. I just I see the comments coming in. Oh, my watch just said you don't need to apologize.
What in the hell?
heard it.
Okay, so why? Oh no.
I
Why
heard
is
her
your phone
watch.
telling you don't have to apologize to people?
I think it thought I said hey SIRI to start something. But okay, so yeah, so that is that's my fourth pick. And I don't want like the chat like full of like talking about her like personal views and stuff like yes, I'm the one that tweeted out that news, but I don't want that to be like the focus of chat and dialogue around this amazing cast and this amazing season. So I just kind of want to leave like those opinions at that and move on from that and kind of separate her as a very potential good player in this game.
I think from just purely from a gameplay, I think that she's going to be someone who's interesting to watch. She is very good at reading people and very good at having people's guard get let down, because she has like this kind of quirky side that comes with her. So she's the kind of person that she's like, wait, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's something about that and like the facial expressions and everything that you can't help but be like, oh, I kind of want to tell her everything just to see how she reacts, you know? And like, oh, I want her on my side. I got to play an online game with her, and I really felt like she was someone who was a lot of fun to play with. Like it was, I think that she'll do well. I just worry with, I think when you deal with Survivor versus a game like Sequester, you're dealing with more elements of like hunger and dealing with people and that kind of thing. And so, like Tyler said, you know, we all know how her I don't know if she might be pro-vax now. I don't know, but like her posts way back in the day were not very and she was very anti-mask and those kind of things. And we understand that, but and obviously we're going to have personal feelings about how we want that to unfold in this season and how we want to root for her or whatever, but again, I would prefer that we focus on the gameplay that we have in front of us when it comes to her as well.
Yeah, and there's some people in the chat that don't really know what's going on, so don't give them a hard time.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on. Just it's totally fine. I really love her hair, and we can move on.
One more thing is with Sequester like changing up the game every single round, I feel like that structure is good for like a one-to-one translation for like how fast-paced and unpredictable modern Survivor can be, like especially like the twists and stuff last season. Yeah, okay. All right, Beth, go ahead and give us your fourth pick.
So funnily enough, as I said before, Tori was going to be my next pick there. So that is us bad. So I'm actually going to go for Jonathan. Jonathan is an Aussie wannabe. His pet peeve is wearing a shirt. I mean, so we've got that. We got like the beach bum vibe. He lives in the South, I think, like in
Okay, hold on.
Louisiana. What?
Yeah, he's in Alabama.
Okay, so my whole point being here, like I know that you can be a bum, like a beach bum on like the shores of Alabama, but it's just not the same as if you're a beach bum on the shores of California. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference. There's a cultural difference. But that said, I could see him being kind of a provider. I could see him being very comfortable in the elements, and we know that those players tend to do really well with the mental fortitude for the game. not necessarily well for the strategic portions of the game, but I'm trying to balance out my team with people who might be more physical, people who might be more social, people who might be more strategic. And I feel like he's a purely physical person, and Ozzy's done well on most of his seasons. So if that's who he's going to model his game after, I'll say Jonathan.
Yes, and Jonathan was also on the show a long time ago as a kid, Endurance. I don't know if either of you have heard of that show. It's basically like a kid's form of Survivor.
Is that why one of his 3 words to describe himself is endurance?
Very possibly. He's like endurance, wink, wink. But John A from The Challenge was also from Endurance. Just a fun fact. He says that he's a big fan of the chaos and wants to have the record for most immunity wins. So I think at best we get a Tony Vlachos. At worst we get a Tony Vlachos and Game Changers, if you will. He has some controversial views as well. I feel like he is more likely to make that his personality trait than previous. So I'm worried about his chances. Almost like what was that guy on the No Collar Tribe that like flirted with Jen a lot and got
the one who had the feather in his hair? Wasn't it like Vince or something like that?
Yeah. Like I almost get like Vince vibes from him.
I could see that. Honestly, I fully understand that this is maybe not like one of the best picks in the book, but I also like I can't not hedge my bets a little bit, you know?
Yeah, right. Allison, what do you think about Jonathan?
Next.
Well, you're next.
So yeah, just his bully. I mean, I like that he doesn't like bullies. Yeah. That's about it. So next on my list, take a guess.
I think you're gonna pick Daniel.
I was gonna say Mike.
Incorrect.
Lindsay.
Deutschlerweiss. I don't know how to pronounce this. Yes, Lily, I screwed that up.
Your cat just pronounced it better than you
did. My
cat
just said, "What the F?" She just said, "Are you about to throw up?" I don't know. Yeah. Can I be honest?
Go ahead. This is your show.
She's a dietitian and she hates wasted time. And she's loud. She likes co-ed football. I don't know. Something about it. I just feel like, yeah, she may be loud and get on people's nerves, but they'll keep her around for a while to save themselves. She might be the one that goes looking for an idol aggressively and gets caught. And I'm all for it. Because that's why I'm here.
I feel like she's gonna like enable the men to have like a big majority alliance and like play along with that. You know what I mean?
I think she'll abandon the women quite possibly to join up with the dudes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I almost get like Jillian Michaels. If Jillian Michaels were to play Survivor, this is what we could get. I just she's like a loud Jersey gal. Like I'm not sure she's gonna master that first impression like I was talking about.
But here's
earlier.
The thing, how many people don't master the first impression and make it pretty far? True. Like the fact that Nora made it that far in 39 is like
yeah, that is true. Yeah. She also had her brother pass away from COVID. So that could be a driving force for her to
wasn't that Maria?
The conversations that are gonna happen on this beach. I cannot wait.
Mariah's
brother was the one that passed away from COVID,
I thought. Did
Lindsay's as well?
I'm pretty sure because I listened to the parade interviews. I'm pretty sure she mentioned that her brother passed away from COVID, so there might be two.
Mariah's whole thing, like her big bio portion, was that her brother was a nurse who has passed away and was one of the first recorded deaths in New York City for healthcare professionals.
Damn. Okay.
I might be wrong then. I don't know. I don't want to like misspeak for anybody's deceased brother or anything. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. Just Carry on.
Yeah.
Like I said.
All right. So Allison, you get a second pick.
Oh, get to go again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hold on. Let me see who I've got on my list here. Romeo.
You're doing Romeo?
I'm doing Romeo.
Sad. I was gonna go for him next.
So let me find. I can't write them down. Okay, there he is. I keep forgetting. Let's see here. Let me find him down here because I have to look at him while I'm talking about him. Sorry. He's a very good-looking fella. He looks fit and in shape, and I don't know why I can't find. Okay, where is he? I'm so sorry.
He's the one that's like a pageant coach.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you can deal with pageant moms and stuff like that. Okay, here. I'm sorry. Romeo Escobar. I wanted to roll my R's.
Escobar.
Escobar.
To be fair, you only flip it if it's 2 R's.
Okay, look, I'm from
Escobar.
the South. Do you understand? I add vowels to everything.
There's
Okay,
no
and
R
I'm
in
that
Waffle
person
House.
walking slow in New York. What's that?
I said there's
Okay.
no R's in Waffle House.
Waffle House.
Waffle House. Okay, see, now I just sound like I'm from Looking Like. Okay, I don't know
Oh
what
God.
Nobody wants me doing any kind of accent.
No.
He's a pageant coach. I like
yeah.
that about him because I think that he will be able to handle some of these people, and I'm
Yeah,
living for it.
I,
That's really all I got.
What I liked that he said was when they asked him what his favorite moment in Survivor history was, he said every single moment from Heroes versus Villains, and I'm like, a man of taste, a man of culture. I understand exactly what you mean by that. So he is a super fan. He's watched since he was 14 years old. I think that's a really great point, Allison, that he is a pageant director, so he deals with all kinds of Karens all day long,
Karens,
and
Becky,
still.
all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Linda's, all of them. And my only concern is he's on the same tribe as your first pick, Zach. And I feel like they're kind of like the same, like skinny boy super fan type of thing. So I feel like one or the other could be targeted. So we'll see like who integrates themselves better, and even if that's like the case, but in a tribe of 6, it's you don't have a lot of room to hide. So I just feel like one of the two of them is gonna win this battle, and I feel like that battle is gonna come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think that his competitive nature, the fact that he can deal with really strong egos, I think is really something that's going to be interesting. But how does he deal with them? We know that he does deal with them, but we don't know if people like him for it, right? So
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
We'll find out. Either way, I'm excited to see him. Like, he's somebody that I'm really excited to see play. And if I hadn't gone for Jonathan, I was gonna go for him. So.
All right. So Beth, go ahead and give us your 5th pick, your number 5.
I'm really struggling with this. I feel like I'm gonna go for somebody who I'm gonna go for Jackson. I think that Jackson, as a weightlifter and somebody who is just seems like a big teddy bear, I think is going to be the kind of person that people generally like. Jackson is trans, and so I also think that
yes?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That.
So he
first openly trans person on Survivor.
Yeah.
So okay, can I ask an ignorant question?
Go for it.
Okay, forgive me. So when you say he is trans, he used to be a woman. He transitioned into a man.
So we don't know. So trans doesn't necessarily mean that you've done all the different kinds of transformation. It just means that you identify as a man. So some people will keep like their genitals the same way, but still just like their gender expression will reflect the gender that they feel. So I don't know what his biology is, but obviously he's taking testosterone because you can see that he has facial hair, and that there's some more masculine features. So
and it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to learn about this stuff.
No, absolutely. Totally. And thank you for asking.
I think his exact verbiage was like, "I used to be a woman." So like that for what that means.
Yeah, and just that using that kind of language sometimes with trans people is okay and sometimes it's not. In Jackson's case, the way that Jackson describes as I used to be a woman, that's fine. But other trans people will say I've always been a woman, I'm just in the wrong body or something like that. So using the phrase used to be may or may not work with a lot of trans people. So you just want to like be conscious of that and then try to mirror what they're saying. So in Jackson's case, yeah, you can say used to be a woman. So but what I think is so strong about that is that Jackson's going to be able to relate to the women on the team in a way that the other men won't be able to. And then he's going to be able to potentially, if there's a guys alliance, be involved with that as well. I really see that, you know, the power that trans people have to be more emotionally intelligent to other people's lived experiences can be super strong in a social strategic game. And the fact that he's a weightlifter as well makes me feel like he's probably going to be like really good in certain endurance challenges or like those big heavy things that, you know, you've got to lift and such. So I see him potentially doing well there.
And he's into dog walking. God bless him. I can't walk. I couldn't walk little Gizmo when I was watching his little 2-pound butt. I mean, that dog was walking me. I've never been able to walk dogs. My parents used to breed golden retrievers and wiener dogs when I was little, and I was around them all the time and couldn't walk them. I can't walk dogs.
If you can walk a dog, especially multiple of them at the same time, imagine how well you're going to be able to do in those, like where you're tied up against different teammates and stuff.
Right. And Tyler, how do you rate on the dog walking scale? Does Sora? I feel like Sora walks you. Is that okay to say?
So Tim and I have different approaches. He brings treats for her. I usually just bring like a tennis ball or a toy or something. And the way she like looks at this toy while walking is the way I wish that she looked and listened to me all the time. Because whenever I walk her without a toy, she just like does whatever and doesn't care. So you just have to
get Aunt Beth to come with you because then she'll listen to me.
Oh my gosh, she loves Aunt Beth.
I do like that he admires his mom's faith. I think that I like that. So
yeah,
definitely.
All right, so I have let's see. Okay, so my next pick is going to be Daniel. And out of the 4 remaining, this is a pretty big no-brainer for me. So, you know, of course, like I feel like Daniel is the like nerdy super fan, like or not just super fan, but like nerd. And I can say that because I am a fellow nerd.
Exactly. I could see this coming a mile away like a freight train on fire.
If it wasn't for the fact I'm so convinced that all he wants to do is debate with people when he's on the island and get himself kicked out first, I would have chosen him next purely just to take him away from you because I knew that you would put him on your team over everybody else.
Did this guy take your spot, Tyler? Just tell the truth.
I could see it. But I have more faith in him than I do like Jacob from Ghost Island, if that makes any sense. He's very big on philosophy. He has battled with cancer in his life at only 30 years old, which is very admirable. I really liked what he said. So everybody got asked like who their hero is. Daniel says he admires George Washington for resisting power of that magnitude. And I like that answer because that shows that he admires humility. He admires like people doing the right thing at no extra cost or benefit to them. And he says that his winning strategy, he thinks, is to embrace his inner goofy like Fabio. And I think that is a really great strategy and a really great way to not come off the same way that Zach and Romeo are going to come off this season, I think.
He combined Yule, Todd, and Fabio as like the 3 games he wants to play with, and I feel like
that's a great combo.
It's a great combo. It's not attainable because they're you can't play a Yule game and play a Fabio game. You can play elements of it, sure, potentially, but they're probably going to cancel each other out. I'm really nervous about him. I think he's going to so overplay, and I think he's going to get on people's nerves. Because he literally said, I like to debate people. He's like works in law. And I don't see him being able to reign in the super fandom and just being like, no, guys, this is what we have to do. And here's the reasons why, because I've watched every single season and this is what they do and blah, 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 blah. I think he's going to get on people's nerves for that. And I'm really hoping that's not the case, but that's the impression I'm going to get.
I'm living for his pet peeves, though, because people who basically talk in movie theaters, when people try to talk to you, even though you're wearing headphones, and oatmeal raisin cookies masquerading as chocolate chip cookies, there's nothing worse than having you're jonesing for a chocolate chip cookie, and you go in and you get it in the bag and you take a big bite and it's a gosh damn raisin.
You almost turned into Jennifer Coolidge there.
It's a raisin. And
it's real bad.
It's real bad. And I don't want to eat it because I don't want a raisin in my mouth. I want a chocolate chip.
I want a hot dog.
Cookie. I want a
real bad.
I have to say, chocolate oatmeal cookies, like chocolate chip oatmeal cookies, are superior to just chocolate chip. Not raisins, chocolate chip oatmeal cookies.
I don't know how I feel about that, Beth.
The only time I stay away from just chocolate chip is like putting some rock salt on it. Like that's as adventurous as I go with cookies. It has to be chocolate chip. So any oatmeal cookies in disguise, Daniel, I'm with you.
Hey, just real quick, Adrian, I'm not poo-pooing on oatmeal raisin cookie. Okay, Beth, just get on to her. I love oatmeal raisin. I'm just saying when sometimes you really got to have something and you go in and you order the chocolate chip cookie and the dingbat behind the counter gives you an oatmeal raisin and you're down the street and you can't you're miles away before you can do anything about it to have it changed, and you bite into it and it's not what you want. Like I will quote Leo Getz from Lethal Weapon 2, they fuck you in the drive-thru. They know you're going to be millions of miles away before you know you got fucked.
Yeah.
That's a little
I would like to once again reiterate that if you happened in that situation to get a chocolate chip oatmeal cookie, I bet you'd go, oh, this isn't what I wanted, but it is still very good.
True.
All right. So equally as sweet is my last pick here. So I'm gonna go with Roxroy for my last pick. All right. So, gosh, I hate when this doesn't line up perfectly. I hate how these like headshots are so like some are zoomed out really far, some are like zoomed in really close. Like, just be consistent with these like past photos.
Yeah, it's the ones that are zoomed out that have like the perfect bodies. I'm a little mixed.
Exactly. And then like Tynesha for BB Can 10 was like her face was like this close. I just don't understand. But enough of that. So Roxroy, he is 44 years old. He is a stay-at-home dad from Las Vegas. I'm picking him because his career is in sales, which I think is never a bad career to invest in terms of like survivor character traits that can be good. He was cast pre-COVID, and they remembered him all the way for Survivor 42. So, like, casting definitely sees something special in him that I'm just more curious about than the other two people remaining. He's a stay-at-home dad, which is very admirable. His wife told him to apply, and when asked what advice he was given before coming out to the island, he said, "Just win." So I think he's just gonna just play how he wants to play, and I'm excited for that. We'll see.
My notes for him were generic Survivor player.
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything too, like, there was nothing in his bio that made me feel like, oh, this is unique or different, or this is how I see you could connect with other people or whatever. So I really don't know what to expect of him. It's not like I'm sitting back and saying, oh, he's a generic person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's like, has like the most generic bio I've ever seen on a Survivor website. So I don't have faith in him because I don't know what to put faith in with him. Right. So I can't wait to see what he does bring to this game. And I didn't know that about the casting. I had figured that a lot of these people would have been saved from beforehand. Not all of them, obviously, but if he was one of the only ones, if not the only one, that really does say something.
No, there were a few, but he's the only one
Yeah.
that like specifically mentions like that he auditioned like
Oh,
years ago. And they like kept in touch with him like throughout the whole like casting process and COVID and stuff. So
Yeah, I don't trust anyone who chooses to watch golf on television. I just don't get it. My papa did that because he was a golfer, and he would talk your ear off and commentate and make it fun. But no, if you are just watching golf, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Okay, so Beth, go ahead and give us your last pick here. Keep
I'm
in mind,
gonna.
whoever you don't pick is gonna go to Allison.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mariah. She's a stay-at-home mom who
That's
used to
how
be a
you pronounce.
teacher.
Hold on. That's how you pronounce that.
Yeah, it's Mariah.
Okay, I'm just not even going to tell you how I was saying it.
Well, it's in Russian. Her name would be Maria.
Okay.
But it is, I think, pronounced Mariah from what I've been able to understand. So she's, I think she used to be a teacher. That's the sense I got from her bio, even though she never expressly said, I used to be a teacher. From what I understand, I think that she's a stay-at-home mom now, but maybe before she had children, was there. She put down that she, between being a mother and having this teaching experience, that she thinks that she can like command attention of people, and that she has emotional intelligence and knows how to, you know, get people's attention and how they like want to be treated. And I think that that's a really underrated skill. I think just generally in life, I think most people just go for like normal like book intelligence or whatever, but like not a lot of people go for social intelligence and emotional intelligence, which is really the key to communicating with people. So if she's as good as that as she says that she is, then I think that she could be a really fun, interesting character to watch. She's the one that I had down that her brother died from COVID, but we're not sure if that was her or Lindsay. I think it was her though. And then
Okay.
I think that she just I think that she just is kind of a little bit more interesting. I have to say though, too, with Mike, I know that Mike will come up in a second, but I almost chose him as well. Like I understand that. I just think that she has a little bit more of an edge on the emotional intelligence front.
Yeah, if she can keep it in check, and that's what I worry about, because she is so hyper aware of that being such a big quality for herself. Like I just worry that it can get a little out of hand if the wind blows the wrong way for her. What I do like about her is that she's a teacher. I feel like that always, especially with her age being 47, like I feel like she might turn into like the caretaker role in the camp, which could be for her benefit if you're just looking for somebody to bring along for a vote. I just don't see like a lot of winners potential here. Yeah, Allison, what do you think? And we have confirmation from Adrian, so thank you. It was Mariah's brother.
I always like the teachers because my sister is a school teacher in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I just really respect and admire teachers, just the amount of patience. And this is one of the most thankless jobs on the planet. And you are never given, first of all, not paid enough, and you're never given all the materials that you need. And you're educating other people's kids. I mean, it's just, I just respect that. Like I said, my sister's a teacher, and yeah, I love her.
My whole family were educators, so
Yeah.
I totally get it, and I definitely think too that, I mean, it doesn't sound like she's currently a teacher. I think she's a stay-at-home mom. But regardless, if you've taught in the past like 10 years, you're at a whole other level than what even has been in the past, and we already know how much of a thankless job teachers were beforehand. But just the past 10 years have not been a good decade for teachers. So,
yeah, that's true.
I just worry also, like, mothers are never treated super well, because if they ever betray people, it's like seen as like a really horrible thing. So I hope that this cast is a little bit more like woke to that and pays attention to it a little bit more with like maybe separating their emotions from what they're feeling. And I think that some of them will be, but I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see, though.
Hmm.
All right, so we have one more pick on the board.
I wonder who it's going to be.
All right, so Allison, you are left with Mike as your last pick by default.
Oh, hold on one second. What's that? Come here. We're going to say bye real quick. You're
Okay.
into my show. Say goodbye. What's your problem? You change outfits? Did you change outfits?
A costume change.
You get a costume change. The person we got stuck with at the end is Mike Turner. He's loud. Yeah. He doesn't like people who open cereal boxes and leave them open.
You can tell he's a father.
Yeah, he's a father.
He's a retired firefighter.
You're not going to do that, are you?
He has the tiniest nipples I've ever seen on anybody in my entire life. It's just, there's no areola. It's just nipple.
He doesn't have any nipples either. Okay, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye,
okay.
Cloud.
Bye, guys. Oh, God, I just took a fist to the mouth.
Bye, everybody.
You got lipstick on.
Bye.
Love you.
Yeah, so Mike is 58. He's from Hoboken, New Jersey. And he is a retired firefighter.
Jacob.
I'll meet Allison.
I'm so
okay, so finally. No, I'm kidding. He describes himself as loud, which Allison alluded to earlier. That is just a little concerning. That's like one of your like go-to words to describe yourself. I don't know about it.
I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. I just had to explain to my son that I wasn't flipping him off. So Tyler, I hope you're happy. He's like, why are you flipping me off? I said, I'm not flipping you off. I'm flipping Tyler. Anyway, not in front of the baby. See what you made me do in front of the baby? You made me flip you off in front of the baby.
To be fair, if Cloud all of a sudden tomorrow went, that would be amazing.
If my grandson flipped you off with a giant eye roll, no one would be shocked. Let's just
like DNA results came back, Allison's grandchild.
That's right.
If Claude started doing that, you have to make like a TikTok for him so he can like become like an influencer, and then we can all be rich.
Yeah, he'll be the reason why we become successful. Hey, look.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I do kind of like, he wasn't my first choice, but I like
he's quite literally your last choice.
He's my last choice. Listen,
it wasn't even a choice.
He's proud that he raised his children, which, like you said, sounds like a cliche, but, raising children isn't easy. And I hate to say it, but, being a man and raising your children is not something that's common these days. It's really not. And, I'm going to pull a Chris Rock here and say, I'm not going to give you props for stepping up and being a father because that's what you're supposed to do. But in this day and age, to hear a man say that, I really like that. That's very admirable. And, he doesn't have heroes. He has people he looks up to. I like that.
You know what I like about him is that he, in his like section of like, what wouldn't people think about you? He was like, I get emotional. I am sad about the people who are less fortunate than me. Like he just basically was like, I have a lot of feelings and care for people. And I think when you have like a big tough guy who used to be a firefighter, like, yeah, of course you expect firefighters to have that kind of empathy for people, but you don't expect it necessarily in the way that he's describing it. And I think that says a lot about his character. So if he can tap into that aspect, but also be a benefit in challenges, I don't see him being targeted sooner than later. But if he is coming in and saying, I'm going to be like the father of the tribe, or we're going to do blah, 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 I think he's going to beat the same fate as Abraham, who was first boot last season and was like the older fit guy like he is.
Yeah.
The fact I even remember that the guy's name was Abraham is like unbelievable to me because I did not remember it until I said
it. Isn't it funny how like you can't remember like what you eat for breakfast sometimes, but you can remember the first boot of like a random season of
what the hell? It was
shows.
Abraham and Sarah.
I just want to point out real quick, Sam Higdon in the chat, our resident senior in high school, is going to go to school to be a history teacher.
Oh, good for you.
So I just want to point that out.
Absolutely, Sam. I
yeah.
love that. I think that's
Love
so
that.
important to teach actual American history.
And
Not
Joseph,
just the
The
I'm
good
sorry.
actual
stuff.
American.
Yeah, and Joseph Bozos is his first Survivor breakdown. So
Oh,
welcome,
good.
Joseph.
Welcome,
Yes.
Joseph. Hope you enjoyed this.
But yeah, so that is our draft here for Survivor 42. I'm excited for one of us to get another win under our belts, not gonna lie. I like that we
right.
needed to like tighten the competition in order for one of us to actually win one of these things, but
Well, we are just going to quickly go over what the patron draft is.
Yes.
Okay.
For those picks as well. So, at a random order, the order was Adrian, Rory, Liza, and Matt. And these are the teams. So, Adrian's team is Chanel, Jenny, Hi, and Mike.
Okay.
It's a good
Okay.
team.
It's a great team. Rory has Marianne, Swathi, Lydia, and Jonathan. Matt has Omar, Zach, Lindsay, and Romeo. And Liza has Tori, Jackson. What did I write? Manya? What is that? Maria. Jeez,
Maria.
Mariah.
Girl,
I
Mariah.
could not I could
Mhm.
not figure out how I wrote that. And then Drea. So
You're pulling it, Allison.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, that's about how it was pronounced.
I put in and my R's sometimes look like N's, so like Manya. That's what
Is
I was
that
trying to-
cursive? Is that cursive?
No, it's not. It's print.
Yeah, F you, Tyler.
Yeah,
It looks very
Yeah.
pretty and it looks cursive.
it does look good.
Shut up,
So
Tyler.
those are the teams. I will post them in the Patreon group, and Tyler's going to make a graphic. So each of our Survivor shows, we will update graphics, except for probably the first one because Tyler won't be here, and Allison and I are dumb. So you won't get
I'm
updated
not-
graphics for the first show, but moving forward, when Tyler gets back, you'll get updated graphics.
Let me tell you
Yes.
something real quick. It's completely coincidental that Matt Henning and I have the same picks.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay, there's a method to the
Okay.
madness here.
Meanwhile,
Interesting.
I have all of Rory's team except for Marianne. And then
Well-
Adrian has we have all of Adrian's picks. And Liza, we have all of Liza's picks too. So
I'm overall I'm feeling really good about our picks. Like I feel like if we divide the first half of our picks to the second half, I feel like the winner is almost certainly in the first half. So I
agree.
think that we did a really good job here. And if you're watching this later, I want you guys to comment, leave a comment for us, letting us know who you think has the best draft team here. I'll be updating it on Twitter throughout the season as well. We got a question overall, who was our number one winner pick? Even if somebody else picked them. I'll go first. I think Chanel is going to win the season. She is my number one pick, with a bullet. Lydia, I feel really strongly about, but Chanel is just could be the total package of an amazing Survivor player. So
I'm gonna also go with Chanel right now, but I know that I feel like she's gonna get the robbed goddess role. I think that's what happens with her.
Oh God, please no. Allison, what do you think?
Oh, Sam Higdon's winner pick, shocking, is Tori. Of course, the beautiful
the
blonde.
blonde.
No kidding. No shocker there. I'm going to go with the don't sleep on Daniel Strugden. Stunken.
And
I don't know his last name.
I will say Rockstroy and Daniel were the two undrafted people for the patron. So how amazing would it be if one of those two won? And
Right?
Nobody drafted him in the patron group.
Terrible.
I don't know. All right. Well, so like I said, we'll be back next week to recap the season premiere of Survivor. I will not be here, but these two lovely ladies will be. We are not covering the first week of BB Can on Thursday. The first episode of Survivor is next Wednesday, and the first recap for BB Can here is on that Thursday. So,
and I just want to say that I did a screenshot of the draft
Okay.
And I did a clip it and saved it to my desktop. Yeah, I know how to do that.
A clip
And
it.
shut up. You know what? You can just sit and be quiet. And I saved it to my desktop. So when Beth and I are doing the show next Wednesday and they have the, I'm going to have a little red mark through the person eliminated. I've already got it planned out.
Amazing. You know what's going to be even better is the fact that Tyler could have just sent us the file.
Look, he's going to be in Singapore having a good old time.
No, like right now he could.
Look, I can make a thumbnail.
I'm streaming from Singapore. Sorry.
I can make a thumbnail. I can do a draft update. I'm not completely stupid.
Do you guys have? Can you? Is it a photo? Do you guys have Photoshop on your computer?
I don't.
Is what I'm asking.
I have something similar.
No.
I have Microsoft Paint.
I have an app on my phone.
I can go to that Pixlr or whatever it is on.
Beth, I thought you were about to say what you could do, Tyler, is send us 16 versions of one person grayed out. I was like,
no, I just mean like send us like what it is there, and then like she said, we could just put like a little X through the one person instead of like fading it out or whatever. That's
I mean, I'll have my laptop with me, so like I can. We'll see. I don't even know what
it's gonna be like noon when you're.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Probably not, but we'll see. Yeah. So I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna go pack, but all right, everybody, have a great rest of your night. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.